Hello, guys, and welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about if you are ready to go to America.
Or the UK.
Welcome, and this is Michael.
I'm Phil, and you're watching the IELTS Grind.
Please like and subscribe.
Yeah. So, in our last video, we were talking about what the Brits, people from the UK, and Americans, or Yanks as we say, what we drink in the morning. So, you drink coffee, we drink tea, but then we said, what do you do after a very hard day at work? Maybe the weekend's coming up. Where would you go and what would you drink?
Well, you know, a lot of Americans, like especially on like a Friday night or Saturday night, they like to go out to the bars and drink some delicious alcohol.
Yes, but not too much. Limiting how much, of course.
I don't know. That is actually something really interesting. In America, there's kind of like this binge culture where a lot of people, they don't drink during the week. There are people who drink during the week, but a lot of younger people, they drink a huge amount on the weekends, and then they don't drink so much during the week. But in the UK, it's not the same, right?
No, we do have this binge drinking culture. Yeah, binge drinking, consuming a lot of alcohol in a short amount of time. Yeah, when I was growing up, when I was able to go to the bars.
There were dinosaurs.
Because in the UK, we can drink alcohol from 18, but many states in the United States, it's 21.
It's 21.
Yeah. So when I was at university, you would go to a pub and they would close the pub at 11 o'clock in the evening.
That's crazy. That's so early. That's when a lot of people in America start their night.
Yeah.
Like,
so that had that kind of culture of you would finish work at, say, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. You'd probably go directly to the pub on a Friday night and you would drink as much as you could until 11, where you would probably go home. And that's where the binge drinking culture came from. Yeah. You're trying to calculate how many that's 4 hours.
4 to 5 hours of drinking. Very respectable.
Yeah. So, but we're not all like that. I mean, okay, a lot of young people. I'm giving the UK a bad rep here, a bad reputation. But no, we do enjoy drinking beer. It's been a national drink for a long time. But how would you order a beer in the UK compared to the US?
Well, in the US, you'd go to the bar and you'd go up to the bartender, you'd wait until he saw you, and then you'd say, hey, can I order a beer? Or whatever other drink you want, you know.
Do you do that thing when you're waiting in the queue at the bar? Do you have like money in your hand? Do you ever do that? That's what we do in the UK. You put money in your hand so that you can.
No, because
like, I have money. Serve me. I have money.
Because like there's a tab in America, right? Like you order your drinks, it's added to your tab, and then at the end you pay it off.
Oh no, they don't trust us like that in the UK. Which it took me years to get used to this living in other countries. You pay for the drink before they give it to you. So you don't have tabs, you go to the bar, you buy your drink, and you go back.
I guess that means you can literally stop drinking because you run out of money. That wouldn't be too bad.
That's what, as a student, I didn't have a lot of money, and sometimes I had the choice between food or beer, and I often chose to drink Guinness because it's both.
That's very true. Guinness is one of my favorite drinks, but only because of Ireland. I went on a trip around Europe, and we went to Ireland, and I had Guinness in Ireland, and it was incredible. It's so creamy, it's so smooth. It's like drinking ice cream, alcoholic ice cream, and it's amazing. But then you go abroad, and very few people have it on tap, which means that. You put the cup and they keep a keg and then they pour it directly in. And that's really the only way to do it. If you get a bottle, they have that little ping pong. It does not taste the same.
It's called a widget.
A widget?
Yes. If you get a can of Guinness, that plastic ball in it called a widget. I remember at university cutting one open to see what it was because you kept hearing the sound.
What was inside?
It's a widget. That's what it's called, a widget. So if you're in a bar in the UK, normally you'd go up to the bar and you'd say, can I have a pint, please? And if you ask for a pint, they're going to give you a pint of lager. So a lager is a sort of a fizzier beer. It's normally served cold. But if you went...
Aren't all beers served cold?
No. Not in the UK.
Okay.
So if you went to the pub and you asked for a pint of bitter, you would be given another type of beer. It's called an ale, and it's brewed in a slightly different way. It's not brewed at a lower temperature. It uses different ingredients, different yeasts, different malts, and often you can drink an ale at room temperature.
Okay. And what if they're taking it from the tap?
If it goes through a tap, through a draft, often it is cooled, but you don't have to drink it.
You can wait.
Yeah, you can wait for it to warm up.
That reminds me, one of the reasons why people don't do Guinness right is because you're supposed to let it sit for quite a while before you drink it. And when you're abroad and people don't know that, they just, oh, here you go, and it's not as good.
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
You know a lot about beer. It's even like you've studied it before.
Yes. This is my hobby. I make my own beer at home, so I'm learning a lot about making beer. I've not done a stout yet, which is a Guinness, which is a stout, but I do make my own beer, so I know a little bit about it.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. If you have some free time, I'd recommend it as a hobby.
You can check out his other YouTube channel in the link down below.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you're in the United States, what do you do when you order a beer? What do you say, and what would you get back?
Just like I said, hey, can I have a beer? If you know the name of the beer, like I love Duvel. It's a Belgian ale. I'll say, give me a Duvel, please, or a bottle as well, if you would like to buy the bottle. Usually there's a menu up on the wall behind, and you'll be able to get it from there. Another really big trend has been microbrews.
Okay, yeah, microbreweries, yeah.
Like in the States, that's a new thing. Like local beers made in very small... You don't call them refineries. What do you call them?
Breweries.
Breweries.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
Where they brew beer.
Yeah. So a refinery, I think you'd be making oil. I wouldn't recommend drinking oil. Although I can see a theme in all the beers that you're choosing. None of them are American beers. You like your foreign beers.
It's kind of true. That being said, I waited until I was 21 to start drinking, which is not the norm in America. Like, legally, you're supposed to wait until you're 21.
Yeah.
But most people have their first tastes a lot in high school, most in college. Like, they get a fake ID and they go to a bar, or they get their friends who are older to buy them some drinks. Yeah, but I was always very afraid of breaking the law, so I waited until I was 21. And then I graduated, and then I moved to China. So I haven't really had much experience doing that.
What's the drinking age in China?
Is there one?
I don't know. Talking about, what's the drinking age in your country? Is it 21? Is it 18?
And do people follow it?
Yeah. They don't follow it in the UK, I can tell you that much. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell and give us a like. And of course, leave us a comment with any questions that you have and we'll get back to you.
By the way, one last thing, if you would like to watch this video again for a little bit of an exercise, I recommend that you make 3 columns on a sheet of paper. In the first, write down nouns, verbs, and adjectives. And if there were any new vocabulary that you heard us using, I recommend you write it down in this list. For example, did you know what the word brew meant? And then, of course, what is the noun? The place where people do that.
Yeah, it's not a refinery.
See you guys next time.
See you next time.